All right, and I guess we're about ready to bring out the next act here, and she's back here. She's getting really tanked up right now. So just come on out and have a seat. No need being bashful. Ain't she a beautiful person? Howdy. We love it when they do their own introductions around here.
I believe that's the wrong show, wasn't it?
Huh?
I said howdy, but I believe that's the wrong show, ain't it?
Oh, I forgot we're at the Grand Ole Opry. This is Minnie Pearl.
I don't have a price on my head, though.
Well, you will before you leave Letcher County. We hope not, really. All right. Here she is, folks. And I want to tell you, we've had her here before, and it's always a pleasure to bring her back. She's had some health problems for a couple of years and didn't get to come down. And she sings, she's a ballad singer and a storyteller, and she hails from the great state of West Virginia, and she carries on the old oral tradition of the mountains with stories about people and places. And I don't know of anything any better we could talk about is the mountains and the people and all the places we don't go. But anyway, that's the way she does it. Her songs and stories reflect both her Irish, oh boy, oh, she's really getting home now, heritage and the history of early days and hard times in West Virginia. And nobody can do it any better than Phyllis Marks.
I have two backups with me, but every time I ask them to help me, they back up. So I guess I'm on my own. If there's an advantage to being blind, it's this. I can't see whether you like me or not. Bluebell, my heart is breaking. Sweetheart, you must not sigh. Bluebell, my heart is aching. I've come to say goodbye. Goodbye, my bluebell. Farewell to you. One last fond look into your eyes of blue. Mid-campfires gleaming, mid-shot and shell, I will be dreaming of my own bluebell. Bluebell, they are returning. Each greets a sweetheart true. Bluebell, my heart is yearning. Never a one greets you. Goodbye, my bluebell. Farewell to you. One last fond look into your eyes of blue. Mid-campfires gleaming, mid-shot and shell, I will be dreaming of my own bluebell. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This song has a parody, and my mother always blamed it on to her stepbrothers. Any silly song or anything like that, she blamed it on to them. I don't know whether they wrote it or not, but we'll try it too. Belle was the hired girl's name. The fire she tried to light, she threw in a can of coal oil and a handful of dynamite. There was a loud explosion. Oh, it was sad to tell. It blew the stove through the ceiling, and it also blew Belle. Oh, where it blew Belle, far, far away. The house went up in the morning and came down next day. Wherever it blew Belle, we guess she went to heaven. She's too green to burn. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This song is, well, you can see how the men sweet talk the women to doing things, and you can see how the women nagged the men, and then you can see who had the last word in this song. It was written in 500, the first version, but this isn't the version. It's a little better that we can understand. Oh, the wind blew high, the wind blew low. It blew all over the floor. When John Jones said to Jane, his wife, get up and bar the door. Oh, I have worked so hard, said she. I've washed and scrubbed the floor. Get up, you lazy man, get up and bar the door. And so between the two they made a pact, a solemn vow they swore, that the very first one to say a word would have to bar the door. So the wind blew high, the wind blew low, it blew all over the floor, but still no one would say a word for barring of the door. 3 robbers came along that way, they came across the moor. They saw a light and walked right in, right through the open door. Oh, who's the good man of this house? Is he rich or is he poor? But still no one would say a word for barring of the door. So they drank their ale, they ate their bread, they said, come give us more. But still no one would say a word for barring of the door. I'll pull the old man's beard, said one. I'll beat him till he's sore. But still no one would say a word for barring of the door. I'll kiss his pretty wife, said one. Of her I would adore. And then the old man shook his fist and gave a mighty roar. Oh, you'll not kiss my wife, said he. I'll throw you on the floor. Said Jane, now, John, you spoke a word. Get up and bar the door. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the woman had the last word, did she? This is the first song I ever sung at the West Virginia State Folk Festival. And I'm sure it's been around a long time and you've heard it, but it's about the women too. Come a clula, come a clingo, come a lamberry, come a dairy my, dairy mingo, dairy o. I believe that's the wrong song. Little old man, sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I day. Now, is that the right song? Yeah. Little old man come in from lived under the hill, and if he ain't moved away, he's living there still. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I day. You can sing with me if you want to. The devil came to him one day, said, one of your family I'm going to take away. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I day. Take her, oh, she's joy in my heart. I hope by golly you'll never part. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I day. He took her to the forks of the road, says the old lady, you're an awful load. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I day. He took her to the depths of hell, said, stir up the fire and we'll scorch her well. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, day. Little devil was rattling a chain, and she up with a hatchet and spit out his brains. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, day. Little devil was sitting on the wall, said, take her home, Daddy, she's a murdering us all. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, day. Little old man, he peeped out the crack, see the old devil come a wagging her back. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, day. Little old man was sick in the bed, and she up with a butter stick and paddled his head. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, day. Little old woman went a-whistling over the hill, said, the devil won't have me, I don't know who will. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, day. Now you see what a woman can do. She can outdo the devil and the old man too. Sing a fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, fi, diddle-I, diddle-I, day. Now, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was one of my backups, but she won't help me. She's helping me, but that was my daughter. This 18th of this month, I'll be married 50 years. And this reading I'm about to do is about a man that had been married 30 years. So you can just apply to my husband if you think it fits. St. Peter stood guard at the Golden Gate with a solemn mien and an air sedate. When up to the top of the golden stairs, a man and a woman ascended there. Applied for admission, they came and stood before St. Peter, so great and good, in hopes the city of peace to win, and asked St. Peter to let them in. The woman was tall and lank and thin, with a straggly beardlet upon her chin, and the man was short and thick and stout, and his stomach was built so it rounded out. The choirs in the distance, the echoes woke, and the man stood still while the woman spoke. O thou who guardest the gate, said she, we too come hither beseeching thee, that we may enter the heavenly land and play our harps with the angel band. Of me, St. Peter, there is no doubt. There's nothing in heaven to bar me out. I've been to meeting 3 times a week, and almost always I'd rise and speak. I've told the neighbors about the day that they would repent of their evil way. I've told the neighbors, I've told them all about Adam and Eve and the primeval fall. I've talked and I've talked to them loud and long, for my voice was good and my lungs were strong. And so, St. Peter, you can plainly see that the gates of heaven are open to me. But my old man, I'm sorry to say, he hasn't walked exactly in the narrow way. He swears and he smokes, and grave faults he's got. And I don't know whether he'll pass or not. Why, he never would pray with an earnest vim, or go to revivals, or join in the hymn. And I had to leave him in sorrow there, while I with the chosen united in prayer. And if cucumbers was all that he got, it's a chance whether he even merited them or not. But St. Peter, I love him so, to the pleasures of heaven, won't you please let him go? I've done enough, a saint I've been. Won't that atone? Won't you let him in? The chosen expect to find some way of coaxing or fooling or bribing you so that their relations can amble through. Well, we must be going our crowns to win. Open, St. Peter. and we'll pass in. But wait, St. Peter, it seems to me that this gate isn't kept as it ought to be. You should stand to that opening there and not sit down in that easy chair. And, St. Peter, my sight is dimmed, but I don't like the way that your whiskers are trimmed. They're cut too wide and outward tossed. They'd look much better narrow, cut straight across. Well, we must be going, St. Peter, our crowns to win open, and let us pass in. St. Peter sat silent and stroked his staff, but in spite of his stature, he had to laugh. And then he said with a fiery gleam in his eye, "Who's tending this gateway, you or I?" And then he arose and statue tall, and he pressed the button beside the wall. And he said to the imp who answered the bell, "Escort this woman around to hell." The man stood still as a piece of stone, sadly, gloomily, there alone. A lifelong settled idea he had that his wife was good and he was bad. And if she went to the regions dim, then there wasn't a ghost of a show for him. And so he turned by habit bent to follow wherever the woman went. St. Peter, standing on duty there, observed that the top of his head was bare. And he called the gentleman to him and said, "Sir, how long have you been wed?" 30 years, with a weary sigh. Then he thoughtfully added, "Why?" Swearing is wicked, and smoking's not good. He swore and he smoked. I should think that he would. 30 years with that tongue so sharp. Ho, Angel Gabriel, give him my harp. Give him my harp with golden wings and a glittering robe. And see that on the finest ambrosia he feeds, for he's had about all of the hell that he needs. It isn't just hardly the thing to do to roast him on earth and in the future too. And so they gave him a seat alone, one with a cushion up near the throne. And he said, as he entered the realms of day, "Well, this beats cucumbers anyway." And so the scriptures have come to pass, that the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just one more that's not quite that long, and don't laugh because it's not funny. This was one I learned. All these I learned from my mother. I neglected to tell you that she was a widow, and she had 2 daughters to raise, and that was back before there was much help for widows. And if she had problems, she'd take her fishing pole. Well, actually, she cut one along the creek. I'm sure you all are familiar with that. And she'd go out and sit by the river and fish. And then she taught me all these little things. And since I've been blind, they've really come in handy to keep me entertained and myself, and maybe other people enjoy them too. This is Papa's letter. I was sitting in my study, writing letters, when I heard, "Please, dear Mama, Mary told me Mama mustn't be disturbed, 'cause I've tired a kitty, want some other fling to do. Writing letters is Mama. Can I write a letter too?" "Not now, darling. Mama's busy. Run and play with Kitty now." No, Mama, me write letter, 10, if you will show me how." I would paint my darling's portrait as his sweet eyes searched my face. Hair of gold and eyes of azure, form of childish witching grace. But the eager face was clouded as I slowly shook my head. Then I said, I'll make a letter of you, darling boy, instead. So I parted back the tresses from his forehead high and white, and a stamping sport I pasted mid the waves of golden light. Then I said, now, little letter, go away and bear good news. And I smiled as down the staircase clattered loud the little shoes. Leaving me, the darling hurried down to Mary in his glee. Mama's writing lots of letters. I's a letter, Mary, see? No one heard the little prattler as once more he climbed the stairs, reached his little cap and pippet, standing on the entry stair. No one saw the front door open. No one saw the golden hair as it floated o'er his shoulders in the crisp October air. Down the street the baby hastened till he reached the office door. "I's there, Mr. Postman. Is there room for any more? 'Cause this setter's gone to Papa. Papa is if God you know. Mama sent me for a wetter. Does you think that I can go?" But the clerk, in wonder, answered, "Not today, my little man. Then I'll find another office, 'cause I must go if I can." Vain the clerk would have disdained him, but the pleading face was gone, and the little feet were hastened by the busy crowd swept on. Suddenly, the crowd was parted. People fled to left and right as a pair of maddening horses at that moment dashed in sight. 'Twas too late. A moment only stood the beauteous vision there. Then a little face lay lifeless, covered o'er with golden hair. Reverently they raised my darling, brushed away the curls of gold, saw the stamp upon his forehead, growing now so icy cold. Not a mark the face disfigured, showing where the hoof had trod. But the little life was ended. Papa's letter was with God. Thank you.
Let's give her a big hand, Phyllis Marks. Good job, Phyllis. Okay. Don't forget about the chances on the quilt at intermission. $20, and Marvin said the dumpster was about full. And by the way, I think Starving Marvin.
She has tapes too.
And she wants you fellers, just the fellers, to know that she also has tapes out on the table. Did you catch that, Phyllis?
Yeah, I heard that.
You want me to tell the women too?
Well, they probably wouldn't want what I said.
Just the men, okay. All right, Phyllis Marks. All right, and we want to thank some people.